Hi and welcome to this tutorial to create sugar skull themed nesting dolls. In this tutorial I will demonstrate the use of the scale tool and shell. The decal used in this tutorial is available to download from the blog. To begin, start a new part. Sketch onto the front plane, view from the front. We're going to start with the largest doll. Select the centre line, draw a line up from the axis by 195mm. Then take the circle and starting on the line towards the top, draw the circle up to the end point of the line. Take smart dimensions and make the circle 18mm in diameter, and then ensure that the line is 195. Use the centre line again and draw a 50mm line along the bottom from the axis. Then go up diagonally like this. Take smart dimensions again, make the angle of the line 100 degrees. The height of the line should be 80mm. Select Sketch Filler here and change the dimension to 5. Fillet this drain and OK it. Next, use the line and going from here, go inwards by 5mm and down by 9. Drain it up to the centre line, then trace along the centre line up to the top point. Use trim entities to cut away the other side of the circle. Then use the spline tool to join up the circle's side point to this point. To manipulate the spine, select the point so that your spline handles appear like this. Selecting the end point of your spline here, you can drag your spline into position. To input the exact position, change the tangent radial direction to -102 degrees. For the other spline handle, change this to -90 degrees. With that in place, use trim entities again and trim away the inner edge of the circle here to create a closed profile. Add some smart dimensions to the doll's lid edge. This again is 9mm. The top edge is 5mm, but this will be changed for each of the scaled down dolls. The height of the spline should be 75mm. Finally, you can add this dimension to fully define the sketch. However, this is not really necessary as we'll need to delete this every time we change the lid edge dimension. We can now revolve the sketch and select this edge for the revolve axis and OK the feature. This gives us the lid part of the doll. For the bottom, start a new sketch onto the front plane. Make the previous sketch visible. You'll find this in the revolve drop down. You can then just hold Control on your keyboard and select all of these entities. Then select Convert Entities. Close off the profile with the line like this. I can then revolve the bottom part of the doll from this edge. This time, make sure you untick the Merge Result box so that the parts are separate bodies. Hide the revolve sketch before saving. Save the part as Doll 1. We can now begin scaling down the part to create 4 other dolls. I'm scaling down the doll before I shell it. Otherwise, the shell feature will also scale down, and the dolls will become thinner and thinner. Select Scale, and when the options open, select both of the doll bodies. You will see the selections under Scale Perimeters. Under Scale About, drop down the menu and change this to Origin. This keeps both bodies together, and they scale down as a whole. For doll 2, we need to scale down to 0.8. OK the feature, and you will see the part shrink down. Turn on section view here and OK it. Here you can see that the lid lip is quite small. So to edit this, go to the first revolve sketch here, right click and edit sketch. We need to change this dimension, but we'll need to delete this dimension first. Double click and select the 5mm dimension. Change this to 6mm. You can then re-add this dimension here and close the sketch. Turn off section view and go to File and Save As. Do not save over Doll 1. Rename the file as Doll 2 and save it. For Doll 3, keep Doll 2 open and edit the scale feature with a right click. Change the scale here to 0.55 and OK it. Like with Doll 2, we need to make the lid edge a little larger again, so edit the revolve sketch, delete the smart dimension and change the lip dimension here to 8mm. And OK the sketch. Turning on section view, you will need to ensure that there is space between these points, otherwise it'll cause issues when you go to shell the parts later. Turn off section view and use Save As. Save this part as doll 3. Next is doll 4. Edit the scale feature and input 0.35 for the scale and OK it. Edit the revolve sketch again. I forgot to add the bottom dimension on the last doll, so I can just change the lid edge here to 11mm. I'm going to add the smart dimension here again and close the amended sketch. I already know that the lid dimensions are okay, so I'm going to Save As and save this part as doll 4. For doll 5, edit the scale feature and change this to 0.17. This will be the smallest doll. Now I'm not going to have this as 2 parts, as the last nesting doll is usually so small that it is a solid piece. So I'm going to use the Combine tool, with Operation type on Add, select both doll bodies, and combine them into one piece. So now when I turn on section view, you'll see the piece is solid. Use Save As and save the part as doll 5. Keeping doll 5 open the other 4 doll parts. Going to doll 1, I'm going to shell both bodies from the inside. Start by right-clicking and hiding the base so that you can see the inner face of the top body. Select the face and then the shell feature. Change the shell dimension to 3mm and OK it. That has hollowed out the doll's lid to a 3mm thickness. Under the solid bodies drop down, bring the bottom body back into view and hide the top. Now select the top face of the part here and use shell again, keeping the dimension at 3mm. Bring the top part back into view, view from the front, and select section view to see inside of the doll with the shell applied. Turn off section view, ready to add appearances. Select both bodies onto solid bodies, select the appearances icon, and add an unfinished ash appearance. I'm changing the mapping of the appearance to cylindrical like this and okaying it. To add the painted surface of the doll, select all the outer faces of the doll, go to Edit Appearance and select Painted, and select Painted, then Car. For doll 1, I'm choosing black as the background for the decal. Apply the appearance. For the decal, select all the outer faces of the doll apart from the bottom. View the part from the front and this time select the decal icon here. Browse for the Sugar Skull decal PNG file and open it. This decal is available to download from the Solidworks blog. The reason I'm using a PNG file is so that the background of my image is transparent and I can put it over any appearance without a background or mask getting in the way. When it opens, you'll get a decal preview. Under Mask Image, you will need to change this to use Decal Image Alpha Channel. You can't tell that this decal has a mask background right now because my appearance is black, but you'll be able to tell with the other doll colours. To map the decal into place, select Mapping and change the mapping type here to Projection. Change the direction of projection to Current View. Again, ensure that you are viewing the part from the front view. We need to resize the decal. With fixed aspect ratio ticked, change the height of the decal to 195mm. I can now just drag the decal into place, ensuring its centre to the model. OK the decal, resave the doll and close the part. Go to doll 2. Like doll 1, shell both parts of the doll by 3mm. Apply the unfinished ash appearance to both bodies. This time, for the paint colour, make this doll a darker pink like this. Add the same decal again. This time, when you change the mask to use Decal Image Alpha Channel, you will see the mask background disappear. Change the mapping to projection again with Current View on. This time, you'll need to resize the decal a little smaller. Make this height 156mm. Drag the decal into place and OK it. Save the part and close it. Next, move on to doll 3. Shell both parts by 3mm each. Apply the unfinished ash appearance to both bodies. Select the faces again for the painted part of the doll. For this doll, I'm choosing a shade of orange. Select the 4 faces for the decal and add the same decal. Remember to change the mask type. You should see the masked background disappear. Mapping should be on projection with Current View. The decal is smaller still. For this doll, make the height 107.25mm. Drag the decal into place and OK it. You can see if you rotate your doll that the decal projects onto both sides of the doll like this. Save the part and close it. For doll 4, repeat the process and shell both sides by 3mm each. Add the unfinished ash appearance. Remember to change mapping to cylindrical. For the paint colour of this doll, I'm using this teal colour. Add the decal to the 4 front faces of the doll. Change the mask type again, ensure that the mask background disappears. Then use projection mapping and switch to current view. The decal for this doll should be 68.25mm in height. Drag the decal into place and OK it. Save the part and close it. Finally, doll 5. For this doll, no shelling is required as it is a solid piece. You also don't need to add any ash appearance. You can simply add the car paint to the part. I'm making this doll a yellow. Add the decal in the same way as the others. For the height of the decal, change this to 33.15mm. Move the decal into position like this. Resave the part and close it. Now to assemble the dolls into each other, start a new assembly and open all 5 dolls. Viewing from the top, drop in doll 1. Then drop in each of the other 4 dolls in order, centred to each other like this. Once they're all in, turn on section view. Drag the section plane up to the centre of the dolls and then flip the direction of the section view here so that it's viewing from the front. OK the section view. This will make it easier to mate the dolls into position. Start by selecting the bottom face of the second doll, then select the mate icon to the inner bottom face of the first doll. It should automatically mate coincident. Tick the green tick to apply it. Then to centre it into the doll, mate one of the circular edges of doll 2 to the circular edge of doll 1 like this. It will make concentric and become centred, but you must also tick lock rotation. Repeat the process for the other 3 dolls so that they sit within each other. Go from the biggest to smallest. Once they're all mated into place, turn off section view. Then select it again and change the section view to use the right plane. As I drag through the model like this, you can see each doll inside each other. With the assembly finished, you can save it. I created this animation of the nesting dolls by using save bodies in the documents and saving the top and bottom of each doll as individual parts. I then had to re-add the decals to each part. I created an assembly with all of the parts again and created an exploded view. The exploded view was added to an animation which can be exported to Solidworks Visualize. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks for watching.